Welcome to Don's Manufactory. Might as well keep you abreast of what's going on. While I was back east at my cousin Ed's funeral, another friend of mine just died of a heart attack. So now I've got another funeral to go to. Every month. Let's see, what have I done on Betsy? Not a damn thing. I guess partly because I was bummed out because I don't get to go to Power Tour and there's no rush now. But basically today I'm just going to change the transmission fluid. Some stuff that I get to some maintenance items I was going to do before Power Tour. I'll jack up the car and I'll bring you along for the dump of the fluid. You can see what I see when check out the fluid. I'm thinking maybe, well, if I'm still breaking in the transmission and there's metal starts to accumulate in the oil, that could explain some of the shifting. Me missing third gear the last time I was racing. So maybe. I just figure it's worth a try. When I was at the track, we had, this is Madras. There was a really cold wind blowing, and there was a guy there that asked me what transmission I had, and I told him the TKX, and he says, "You having any trouble with it?" And I said, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, I can't hit third gear." And he said, "Well, you know, when it's cold like this, most transmissions don't want to shift." He says, "What oil are you using?" And I didn't really know, but he says, "Try MTL manual transmission lube." He said the brand of stuff. It escapes me at the moment, so I'll have to order some of that. But in the meantime, I have this other oil that I have here that I can put in it that Modern Driveline recommended. Fresh oil will probably help, but he said that this MTL works good there at Madras when the wind is blowing cold like that, because you don't have to keep the transmission as warm. And it was something that I was noticing that day. I mean, I noticed it, but it didn't really register what they were doing. But people were leaving and then coming back and leaving and coming back. And basically what they were doing was taking their cars out and running them up this dead-end road that goes like 2 miles or so. And they go up the road and down the road and up the road and down the road to warm the transmission up before they go in to take a pass. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just sitting there waiting for my turn, and my transmission oil gets cold, and then it won't shift. Okay, so that's an idea. I'll try the better oil and stuff, you know. Anyway, so I'll bring you back when I've got it up in the air, and I'm going to pull the plug, and hey, we can watch the oil drain and see how much metal's in the oil. Okay. So I got my little bucket set up here with a rag clamped on it so I can drain the oil through the rag and see if there's any chunks in it. So we're going to dive underneath and do this. Alrighty, where we go here. This broke loose. Let's see, that should be good. Well, it doesn't look bad coming out. Those are just drips coming out, not chunks of transmission. Well, it looks a heck of a lot better than the last time I drained it out of there. But see, you can just see some traces of metal coming out now. I suppose I should have spun it up and get all that into solution before I drained it, but whatever. We'll just let her sit here and drain a bit. I gotta run and get a rag for my fingers. Actually, not as bad as I thought it would be. I suppose I could have jacked it up more in the back and it would drain a little more out. Well, I guess that's good enough. Now we'll get the top one out. Okay, go find some oil to put in it, and let's get a look-see at this oil here. A little bit of gray right there, but pretty clean overall. Pretty amazing. Why doesn't that seem like enough oil? Alright, let's get a stir stick here. What have I got here that I can use? Well, let's see what we got here. We can... Well, it's got some. Not as much as the last time. See, it's got some in it. Well, better than it was the first time, but still, that's enough to cause shifting issues. So, I guess I will put some more oil in there. Now this time around, I think this is what I got for it. ATF Dextron 3 Mercon. That's the stuff they say to use. Now this is not the MTL, obviously, but this was recommended by someone else, so I don't know. That takes care of the oil change and the transmission. Actually, I don't have a whole lot of time left for other things. What time is it now? 4:13. Well, I have to be somewhere at 6 o'clock, so I got a little bit of time, but I got to clean up too. I'm contemplating pulling the differential and draining that oil out and checking to see how much metal is in that. See how my build that I did is doing. Change it. Because I heard, I don't know how many miles I got on it, but I heard a real high-pitched whine way up there at 100 miles an hour when I was at the drag strip. So, I guess maybe I should tear it apart and see what's going on there. Oh, and I was going to show you something else. Here's what, I don't know if you can see that, but that's rubber from the drag strip. So that's the thing about traction compounds and all of that, is that it just acts like little ball bearings underneath street tires and just comes slinging off the track up the side of the car. I guess that's what that is. Anyway, I just read that as that's one of the reasons why I didn't have any traction. It's because the compound and the rubber that's on the track is just it just comes winging off the track like slick snot or something. I have other obligations that I have to meet. The widow of my musician friend that died a while back, she has decided that now she wants to try and go through all his stuff, all his music gear and everything. So I told her at the funeral that I would help her do that, identify everything, value it, maybe sell some of it off. And all of his stuff is top notch, all his recording gear and his guitars and amps. I told her I would do that, so I don't know if you guys need to come along for that, seeing as how it doesn't have anything to do with cars. Anyway, that's what I'll be doing, and so stay tuned. I'll get back to Betsy when I can, but I've got these other obligations I have to meet. Thanks for watching Don's Manufactory. I'll catch you later.